Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Thank you so much for joining Zoom In with Renee. Today, my guest is a concert pianist, Mira Gill, who's making great waves in the Western classical music circuit with her latest album. It's the piano works of Samuel Barber. Samuel Barber was an eminent and one of the most celebrated music composers of the mid-20th century. He was a music educator, conductor, and Mira has come out with her latest album on the piano works of Samuel Barber. Congratulations to Mira on your latest release.
Thank you. It's so nice to be with you today, Renee.
You have an upcoming concert as well, besides your latest album, The Piano Works of Samuel Barber. Your concert is at the iconic CarnegieHall Recital Hall on Sunday, February 25th at 2 o'clock. So we're going to talk a lot about your concert and your latest release and your collaboration in this concert with your husband, Francisco Salazar. So let's go back first to your album. I know last time when I spoke with you, you were so excited. You were talking about it's in the works, and now it's actually out.
Yes, it just came out, and it's on all the streaming platforms and on Amazon and on my website, miragill.com. And I was able to also play a piece with my husband, Francisco, violin piano duet, the slow movement that Barber transcribed from the piano concerto.
Was it challenging to put this out?
You know, it was all mostly new music for me. I'd heard it, but the sonata was an old friend, so I just tried to make my tight version of what I wanted to express and convey, and so it allowed me to really examine the music and still a more thoughtful way as much as I could, because the music to me has so much to offer. It's got a lot of expression, the dark and the light of it, as we talked about before, and so I just wanted to make sure that these characters were very clear to the listener, and so you always, every time you revisit works, you're trying to sharpen all these feelings and thoughts that you have as you rework them, because they develop over time.
Your music is considered to be inspiring and spectacular and poetic. Can we get a little glimpse of it from a little small piece?
Can maybe play. I'll play the beginning.
Let's talk about your upcoming concert, Mira, on February 25th, which is Sunday at the iconic CarnegieHall Recital Hall.
Yes.
What can we expect that day?
I'll be playing the full CD program, plus we have 2 added duets. One is by Reinhold Glier, and it's called Romance, and I'm also playing that partly because my sound engineer Joe Patridge. He was a very close friend for 20 years. He made my first CD, and he did the sound engineering and the production of my both CDs. And he recently just passed away. And so we're dedicating that piece to him in the concert, which is ultimately dedicated to John Browning, but this happened in the interim. And so it's a very lush romantic work, obviously. And so we wanted to put some special tribute for him, and hopefully add a Piazzolla duet as well, Libertango. But I haven't played there since 1997, so it is a return in a way. That was my New York debut. And back then I was still having lessons. I won a big competition for that prize, and they presented me. So this time it was a decision for me to put this program together and present at Weill Hall if I could find a date.
You've come a full circle.
Yes. And to have a CD to also commemorate it is it's kind of surreal, because I still have a couple of congratulatory cards from close friends when I got my CD contract with Centaur. And they were interested, partly because I studied with John Browning, and the piano concerto was written for him. Samuel Barber chose him to be the pianist, that he, as the commission composer, would write the only piano concerto he did write for him, and stylized it after his Russian training with Rosina Levine very carefully. They spent hours together at his home. So Barber, he's considered to be one of the gold standards of Barber, and that was written for the inauguration of Lincoln Center. So this is my little contribution to, that line of work.
And this is a rich tribute to your own teacher, John Browning.
Yes. He passed away in 2003, but it was in January. It was almost to the day of that, date, around the 24th. And he died young. He was 70 years old. And I went to him when I was 60. I mean, he was 60, and he was celebrating it with concerts in Lincoln Center. So it's, to record the album you asked me, I felt a big weight in a way, because I know that, this meant a lot to me, that the Browning comparison is there, or just the influence is noticed, and that it matters. And so you don't want to come short of expressing something that's unique, but also to a standard that you have been trained to. And, he has a big shadow, as anyone that performs for Barber. The sonata that I'm playing on the album and the concert was written for Horowitz. So you have these giants that are, the kind of the banners for Barber's music.
Wow. And you're collaborating with your husband, Francisco Salazar, in this concert.
Yes, it's been a lot of fun to be able to.
He's a violinist.
We met at Juilliard, and we both got our bachelor's and master's there. And so he's very flexible. We enjoy playing together. It's very easy to work together. It's actually very inspiring. And he's a wonderful violinist. His sound is very penetrating and soulful. Wow. So the pieces that we chose, also, I wanted him to show off a little bit. And so having a Barber, a Glieri, and the Piazzolla will be a really nice touch to the Barber solos.
That's great. So you're all excited about this coming concert on February 25th, yeah?
Yes, it came very fast. I can say that
CD and then your concerts coming together pretty much.
Yes, and when I had requested a date with Weill, in July, actually. They only had this one date. I had asked for a window that began the last weekend of February into the early weekends of March. That was the window I was hoping for, and it turned out they had this one date, which was the beginning of that window. He's in 23, 24.
Yeah, there are no coincidences. So it's meant to be for you.
Yeah, I think when I was reading the reply email, my eyes just froze when they said we have exactly one date, because I was afraid to read the next sentence. What would that date be? Is it going to be something?
And this summer, you're going to France for giving out master classes to students.
Yes, 20 minutes from France. It's a brand new festival. I'm designing it with my colleagues, Joan Forsyth. She's my director at for the piano department and in 3rd Street Music School Settlement. And she is the director of this festival and invited myself and David Hatch to come and help design a curriculum and teach there and bring our students.
So how long will that be for?
That will be just under 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it starts June 27th and it goes through July 10th. So I have a couple students going, and one that's already gone with me abroad when I taught in Austria and another festival. So it will be really exciting, and I've always wanted to go to France.
So you're going with your students, you're also going to be performing and giving master classes.
Yes, we'll give master classes, private lessons. We'll have curriculum for the students to perform, and we'll have lecture classes for them and excursions. And we will perform as faculty as well. So we try to give them the best of everything so that they can also see some important musically, cultural, and otherwise places when they're traveling.
As a concert pianist, what will be some of your tips for your students when they are not so confident? What advice would you give them?
Well, it's very important to be able to practice performing as much as you can. Any opportunity you have, there is no small opportunity. Family comes over. Oh, Auntie is here. Why don't you play what you're working on? Sometimes students tend to shy away. Oh, it's not ready. And they don't like to play stuff when it's not ready for a recital. And I think it's good in any stage too. You can always try to keep something up that you should always have something in your hands. But even if you just have a snippet of something, that putting yourself in front of family, friends, even just videoing yourself, but any opportunity, big or small, that comes, that helps you when real big performances come up. And you can't replace that adrenaline that you get from various mediums of being accountable, even videoing yourself if you don't have a chance to perform in front of somebody too often, and mentally preparing yourself. You have to be very positive. I had a roommate at Juilliard, and when she had a big audition, she literally would be getting ready. When she would do her makeup, I'd hear her saying, "I'm the best." I'm great. And it was for the month before these very big orchestra auditions. And I knew what she was doing, because she would tell me how nervous she was, and she got the audition. And it just shows that there is a lot of mental preparation that you have to have. Another concert pianist had told me years ago, when you perform and just in your state of being, you have to live as if you're the only pianist there is. And it's not that you think you're the best, but you have to feel that what you have is it's individual, and it's worth putting out, and you can't be comparing it to others. And that's what students do too, because when you're in a recital, you're in a lineup. So it's nice if you can feel that you're expressing something, and that also helps with nerves. Absolutely. As long as you're always saying something with your playing. It could be a story, a feeling, and something even more abstract. But that's the beauty of the arts, the performing arts especially. You're changing the atmosphere. And even with paintings, it's the same thing.
Right.
And speaking of paintings, the painting on my CD, this painting was done by Ben Georgia, a very established painter, maybe even more in his field than I am in mine. And he is a close friend of mine, him and his wife Hillary. And he did 5 paintings of me, and he gifted me one. And all these years later, I have it. And so when the CD was going to come out, I was thinking of what to put on the cover. And so I asked him if we could put his painting. So he's sharing my art with me in a way, because his painting is there with my music. It was a very dear gift that
looks great. Well, it's all about having passion, dedication, and commitment to your craft. Students, who are learning any music, whether it's Western classical, Indian classical, or any genre, they have to have that passion for learning and stay committed.
Yes, you have to always believe in yourself, and think back to any other time if you ever feel discouraged, that you felt discouraged and you came through. And usually you can be your own best friend and cheerleader when you remember those times, because we tend to forget them. And if we could do it in the past, we have to just believe we can do it with chiseling away a little hard work every single day.
Be the best version of yourself. Well, thank you so very much, Mira, and wishing you all the very best for your CD, Piano Works of Samuel Barber, which has just come out, and your upcoming concert on February 25th, Sunday at 2 o'clock at Carnegie's Wild Recital Hall. And we'll catch up when you come back from France.
Thank you. That would be great.
Thank you, Mira. I'm Dr. Renee Mehrra. Stay healthy, stay positive.